I found his coat behind the closet, smelled like wind and kerosene, a little torn around the collar like the stories in between. He wore it to my baseball games and to Mama's second wedding. He never said too many words, but his silence did the telling. We never saw eye to eye, more like mirror to regret. But I still wore that coat one night just to see what he felt. He was thunder in the hallway, he was whiskey on the chair. He was gone before I noticed he was ever really there. My father's coat still fits me wrong, but I wear it when I need him strong. Through every storm I walk alone, it wraps me in what I've outgrown. We never said the words we meant, we spoke through fences, not through vents. But in this fabric old and broke, I still remember my father's coat. He left before the cancer came, but I read his Bible notes. He marked a page on prodigal and folded prayers and quotes. I found a picture in the pocket of me at age 13, grinning like I knew the world and didn't fear a thing. And we were men made out of silence, built from lessons never said. But that coat was like a letter I forgot I hadn't read. My father's coat still fits me wrong, but I wear it when I need him strong. Through every storm I walk alone, it wraps me in what I've outgrown. We never said the words we meant, we spoke through fences, not through vents. But in this fabric old and broke, I still remember my father's coat. He never said goodbye, but he left me this to try. So I hang it by the doorway, let it catch the morning smoke. And when I miss the man I knew, I wear my father's coat. I took the long road home tonight, through towns that time forgot, where every sign still whispered all the chances that I lost. I passed the church we used to sit in, the one with the crooked bell, and the diner where I told you I had nothing left to tell. I was younger, loud and broken, thought the road could wash me clean, but all it did was echo what you already seen. But I heard through a friend of yours, you still leave the porch light on, like you're waiting for a storm to pass or a fool too proud to call. And the porch light's still on after all these years and miles. You still keep a chair wide open, like forgiveness wears your smile. I've been gone too long, done too much, but I swear I've changed. I'm not who I was, that light's for me. I won't be gone, 'cause the porch light's still on. kept your letters in my glove box, folded like a prayer. I'd read them when the nights got loud, just to feel you still were there. The photos faded, but your words stayed bright like Sunday rain. You said, when you're ready, come on home. I'll leave the porch light just the same. And I never thought I'd see this town without shame behind my eyes. But somehow all the wrong I've done feels small beneath your skies. And the porch light's still on through the wind and every trial. You still keep a chair wide open, like Grace been waiting all the while. I ain't perfect, I ain't fixed, but I'm standing here with all I've missed. If love's a place where I belong, then thank God the porch light's still on.
Sometimes home ain't just a house. It's someone who forgives you first.
So I'm walking up the front steps with the sunrise breaking strong, and I'm coming home for real this time. Thank God the porch light's still on.
There's a letter in my glove box that I never meant to send, and a photo in my wallet of a love I couldn't mend. Wasn't cruel, just careless with the way I held your name, like a gambler holds his last chip, thinking luck don't ever change. You packed your life in silence, not a single slam or tear, just the sound of someone knowing they won't be remembered here. And I watched you from the window as you disappeared in dusk. I thought pride would keep me steady, but pride don't bleed like trust. I took the long way losing you. Every mile just proved it true. I tried to turn around too late, but the road kept fading blue. I thought time would do the healing, but it just drew out the view. No shortcuts through regret, my love. I took the long way losing you. I stayed in towns we passed through, tried to live inside the past, made friends with all my ghosts, and drank from empty glass. I held your laugh in headphones like a hymn I never wrote, played it back till it was hollow, like a promise choked by hope. Some men learn by losing, some just circle what they lost. And I drew maps of maybe, but I never paid the cost. I took the long way losing you, with every silence as my cue. I rehearsed 1,000 sorries that you never asked me to. I thought one day you'd be waiting in some town with lighter shoes, but dreams don't park at broken hearts. I took the long way losing you. I didn't mean to choose this ending, but I chose it just the same. drive it just for truth, and every mile still whispers, I took the long way losing you.
I wrote a letter in a diner somewhere west of Abilene, on a napkin stained with coffee and a fingerprint of dreams. You were gone 5 years by then, but your ghost still hitched a ride in every jukebox song and silence that I kept locked up inside. I never meant to leave that way, didn't think you'd close the door. I was young and full of thunder, now I'm old and keeping score. And every time I tried to mail it, something held me back again. Like maybe pain's more honest when it's only held in pen. This is the letter I never sent, folded tight in consequence, full of words I couldn't say. On the night I walked away, you deserved a better man than the ghost I always meant. So I wrote you down in silence in the letter I never sent. I watched your daughter dancing in a video online. She's got you laugh your way with light and not a trace of mine. I guess you built a better world than I ever thought you could, and I don't blame you for forgetting, I just hoped you never would. And I keep that napkin folded like a relic from the war, between the man I should have been and the one who asked for more. This is the letter I never sent, just ink and cheap lament, but every line still burns like truth, every stain's a piece of youth. If you ever find it drifting like a prayer on accident, just know I loved you quiet in the letter I never sent. And maybe love is realer when it's written, not delivered. So here's to all the might have beens, to mercy, time, and rent, and to you, my never lover, from the letter I never sent. There's a coffee ring on her last letter and a photo turning gray. I read them both 100 times, still don't know what not to say. I told my boy to chase his dreams, but never said how far. He called last week from Michigan, and I just stared at stars. I never said I missed my dad till I saw him in my hands. Never said I feared the silence till the noise was all I had. We all think we'll find the moment to say what weighs the soul, but life don't wait on timing, and the truth ain't always told. These are the things I meant to say when I had more time than fear. Like I'm proud of you and I'm sorry, and I'm glad you made it here. But the clock just kept on ticking, and I thought words could delay. Now all I've got is echoes of the things I meant to say. I never told her she was right when she begged me not to roam. Now the house still smells like flowers, but it don't feel like home. I kept my kindness in a drawer with the watch I never wore, and now both are ticking louder than they ever did before. The days grow short and golden, and I breathe a little slow. Wish I'd said it while they listen. Wish I let the silence go. These are the things I meant to say, not in eulogies or prayers, but across the kitchen table with a breath and two good chairs. Now I fold them in a letter, and I hope they find their way to the hearts I left wide open with the things I meant to say. I should have said it sooner, but I guess I say it now. So if you hear me in the static of a song you hum today, know I meant it when I whispered all the things I meant to say.
Steps, you said you don't have to go, but I was full of stubborn mouths and fear I couldn't show.
You had candles on the windowsill and coffee going cold. The record played some Conway Twitty like it knew we'd both grow old.
I kissed your cheek, not your lips. That's a choice I still replay.
And every what if that I whisper begins with walking away.
The night was soft as mercy, but my pride was hard as stone. You reached for love with trembling hands, and I left you there alone.
If I had stayed that night, would the stars have felt less far? Would we be two names on one mailbox and not just memories in a jar? I still feel your breath in moonlight, I still dream you hold me tight, but I'll never know the answer if I had stayed that night. I heard you moved to Houston with a man who loves to dance. I hope he sees the way you laugh like he's been given one more chance. I fold your name into my prayers like a photograph in flame. I don't wish I had you now, just that I'd stayed and known your name.
The clock forgives no minute, forgets no light.
And silence holds more meaning than anything I write.
If I had stayed that night, would your tears have turned to gold? Would we have painted autumn mornings in the house where we grew old? I still feel the echo in the rain that tells me I wasn't right. But I'll always wonder gently if I had stayed that night.
Sometimes love knocks once and leaves when no one answers.
Now I write our story backward into my heart's low candlelight, and I'll always live the question: if I had stayed that night.
The house was never noisy, but it never felt like peace. Just the hum of empty moments and the weight that doesn't cease. I didn't know I'd build a cage out of calendars and clocks till you walked in with your sunrise and undid every lock. You never fixed me loud, you just sat there with your tea, and somehow all that silence stopped screaming back at me. You didn't bring the lightning, you just opened up the blinds, and I saw the world was turning even when I stayed behind. You got me through the quiet when the world forgot my name, held my hand like I was something more than just my quiet shame. You never tried to rescue, you just stayed and stayed and stayed. And love like that don't shout, it whispers loud enough to say. Porch light burning, even though you're far from here. Not because I think you're coming, just to thank you for those years. Sometimes love ain't till forever, but it lasts through every fall. And the way you helped me breathe again was the truest gift of all. You didn't promise always, you just promised not to run, and that was more than I had ever heard from anyone. You got me through the quiet, through the long and broken days, pulled me out of my own shadow with a laugh that lit my way. You never tried to save me, you just stood and let me grow. And I still sing your kindness everywhere I go. And I hope someone makes you feel the way you made me. You got me through the quiet, now I walk a louder road, but I carry all your stillness everywhere I go.
it still smells like her perfume and ash from a cigarette. We dance like strangers holding history in a room we won't forget. She poured her soul in paper cups, said this ain't love, it's time on loan. But every word she never said still echoes through my bones. I watched her button up her silence as the sunrise kissed her face. She wore goodbye like lipstick and left without a trace. I asked if I could see her when the sun was high and clear. She said some things are better when the morning isn't near. Some loves ain't meant for mornings, they bloom beneath motel moons. They hold you like a promise, but they vanish with the tune. We were real when clocks were broken and shadows held us tight. Some loves ain't meant for mornings, only born to live by night. About forever, like it was just a place to pass. Shared names like faded tattoos on a window made of glass. She traced the outline of my hand like she was reading Braille of fate, then pulled away so slowly like goodbye arrived too late. She said, don't try to find me in the day you think you knew, not made for afternoon or anything too true. Some loves ain't meant for mornings, they disappear in dawn's regret, like steam across a windshield from the words we never said. We were fire inside a whisper, we were thunder dressed in white. Some loves ain't meant for mornings, they only live beneath the night. So I light one more for memory and I hum our borrowed song. Some loves ain't meant for mornings, but they linger all life long.
They say the road forgives a man if he don't ask it where it goes. But I've been driving past my own life like a bar I never chose. Left Georgia in a rainstorm, left 2 kids and half a name. Told myself I'd send a postcard, but the guilt got in the way. Spent some nights in Amarillo, wrote my sins on bathroom walls, played guitar for folks who never even knew my face at all. But a voice inside kept humming every mile like a scar. Said you ain't starting over, you're just hiding who you are. A man can only run so far before the road starts running back. Every silence that you borrow piles up behind the tracks. You so far. I met a woman out in Reno. She could see behind my eyes. Didn't ask me about my story, but she knew I lived in lies. She said, "You've got hands like heartbreak and a voice like you've been shot." Then she poured me half her mercy, and she kept the other half. I asked her why she stayed with me. She just smiled and lit a star. Said we're all just broken comets, falling right back where we are. A man can only run so far before he hits the truth he threw. You can lie to all the strangers, but the mirror still sees you. So I'm headed back to Georgia with this busted heart and scar. 'Cause even cowards find a crossroads, and a man can only run so far. I ain't asking for forgiveness, just a place to plant my boots. Now the road behind me's dusty, but the porch ahead is warm. And I ain't looking back too hard. A man can only run so far. I saw her in a photograph, taped behind a diner seat, smiling like she owned the world but never knew defeat. She used to work the corner booth, pouring coffee, dreams, and cream. I was young and chasing thunder, too proud to ever dream. She'd sing along to Springsteen with a voice too soft to stay, and I'd pretend I didn't notice while my chance slipped away. She called me cowboy once or twice, though I never had the boots. Just a heart afraid of quiet and a suitcase full of truth. Back then I didn't know her name, just her laugh and how she moved. I thought love was for the settled, not for boys who still had grooves. Now the jukebox plays reminders of the time I can't reclaim. She gave me light in passing, but I never knew her name. She left that job in '83, said the town was far too still. I heard she made it out to Denver, married some man on a hill. I stayed behind with habits like the chair she always used, and wondered if she ever thought of the boy who never moved. I tried to write a letter, but I never had her last, so I fold it in a whisper and sing it to the past. Back then I didn't know her name, just the hum of her goodbye. I was too in love with leaving to let her even try. Now my hands are full of nothing but this old cafe in flame. She walked through like an angel, and I never knew her name. Now the corner booth feels colder, though the sun still hits the same. I still sip the cup she poured me back when I didn't know her name.